Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer. Welcome back to American Truck Simulator, and welcome back to Kennewick, Washington. So, I did a few things. I slept. It's middle of the afternoon. I think we may be finishing in darkness, but I went ahead and slept. I bought this here garage and I expanded it, so we have a garage in Kennewick now. I had this intermodal trailer sent over, and we hooked it up, and then I found a job here in Kennewick, going to Grand Coulee, which is one of the last cities that we need to cross off our list, at least on the east side of the Washington DLC. So we're going to go pick this up, right? And we will get rolling, and I believe we can do all this in one episode. But, as I said, we may be driving in a little darkness. Maybe. But you know what? That happens. Not the end of the world. And as I'm looking, I think we're picking this up right, yeah, like right across the street. Right there at that yard, almost directly in front of us. We'll see. So we'll get rolling, and then we'll talk about gaming as we do. It's been, I'd say it's been a pretty good gaming week. There have been some unexpected developments, although I'm feeling like I'm not monitoring things as closely, as carefully as I used to, and so things keep sneaking up on me, which is nice. Are we gonna... moment. Yeah, let's keep our angle here so we don't clip that thing. Right, so we're gonna go out here.
Turn right.
We're gonna make a right, and then we're gonna make a left into that yard. We're picking up a Walmart? Okay. Interesting. This trailer's a bit long, as I recall. I'm watching it in the mirror there, and I think, yeah, we made this pretty long. And, of course, I can't see the light. We could probably make a right on red, but we don't need to. Right. Here we go. Right through here. Make the left into Walmart. Oh, we're going. We're just going. Here we go. So we're in.
You have arrived at your destination. Your route guidance is now finished.
All right. So let's get her in neutral. Set the brake. Let's pick up our job. Cargo market. We are taking TVs to Grand Coulee. That's going to be a fun trip. Beautiful. All right, so we're going to go here, like so. And where is it? Looks like it's right there. Okay. Trying to think how we want to do this, because it's going to be a long video anyway. Yeah, let's just hook up. Let's just hook up and load up and get out of here, because it's 3 in the afternoon. Ooh, that's a little tight. All right, here we go. Fortunately, the box on our immediate left is a little one. Get out of here. Fantastic. I might have to have a sip of coffee before we actually pull out, because I'm feeling my voice already starting to go. All right, back here. Do the big Z turn, the big reversal. Right through here. I think we got it. Yeah, we got it. Okay.
Right.
So there is that. Right, sip of coffee. Is that screenshot worthy? Maybe. Maybe. Okay. Sip of coffee. Back in cab. We're going to make a right turn. Here we go. Ooh, it's a little tricky where they're coming around that bend, zooming at me. here. We're going to go straight, it looks like. Yeah. Beautiful. We are rolling. So what is going on? First thing is this game has patched up. American Truck Simulator has patched up to 1.35.1.31 Sierra. And it did relocate us back to Phoenix. So we did teleport to... I'm sorry, we didn't teleport to Kennewick. We bought a garage and fast traveled to Kennewick. Slightly different. Slightly different. We also had that trailer sent up. And we're still sitting on... this morning when I woke up in-game, we were sitting on like 980,000 euro. So I went ahead and bought the garage. I expanded it. That was 280,000. And then I had the trailer sent over. That didn't cost anything. But we're making progress. And we did hire those 5 drivers a month or so ago. So we will begin making money faster than we can spend it. Without, just making up silly ways to spend it. But I think we're going to be okay as far as profitability. That's what's going on here. On the ATS side, still no word on Road to the Black Sea, and I don't know. I guess I misunderstood. I was under the impression that all these DLC were coming out sort of at the same time. I think Road to the Black Sea was more of just an announcement, and it will be out sometime, but it's certainly not anything that's a companion to the Washington DLC. So I'll stop mentioning that, and of course then like next week they'll announce that it's being released a few weeks after that. You know how that goes. Not a big deal either way. What else is going on? Assetto Corsa Competizione. I'm in the beta program, which is not a big deal. Anybody can be in. It's not like I qualified for it. I just signed up for it. But 1.0.7 beta dropped. It's a 3 gig patch, and the game is becoming what it should have been on day one. I don't know why they rushed it. I don't know why they released it before it was done. They obviously did. But 1.0.7 is beginning to make the game into what it should have been all along. It does tremendous things with the tire modeling. It fixes the AI. It optimizes the game. They rethread. They reassign some threads to the AI as far as CPU usage. And what that does is unloads the CPU, which takes care of some of the horrible bottlenecking that resulted in a lot of stutter for a lot of people early days. So the changelog for 1.0.7 is massive. It's like the length of a Bible. It just goes on and on and on. So they have done really a lot to make the game better. For some reason, I was thinking it came out like 6 months ago. It came out 3 months ago, the end of May. But Kunos and 505 are working to fix that game. And I'm really glad that they are. I think it can be an extraordinary sim. But the way that it was released, I think, was they really did themselves and their fans and their customers a disservice, because it has so much potential. And had they just waited, just a couple of months, they didn't need to keep it in early access for another year. And the early access did have delays in it, and they were upfront about that. So we're not going to take this exit. We're going to go straight. Okay. There were several of the roadmap events in the early access program were delayed, and they straight up just sent out a notice saying, hey, this new drop that was scheduled for next week or 2 weeks from now or whenever, this new drop is not going to be ready. So slight delay. And people immediately were like, no problem, man. I'd rather have it better than have it sooner. And that was how their fan base was reacting. I mean, the easiest way to get out in front of that is to post a calendar. And that's what they did for the early access. As long as you post a calendar and stick with it and communicate, you're fine. I mean, you can find so many threads on Steam for early access games where people are saying in the comments, man, I don't care when the game is released. I just need communication. I need you to tell me what's going on. Particularly if you've got my money. You've got my money. Pull in be weighed. Okay. If a developer has sold early access, if they have people's money, then they have to communicate. And Kunos was doing that. And people, you could see in the comments for the early access, people were saying, fine, 2 week delay, 3 week delay, I care less, man. I'd rather have it better than have it sooner. So they had that feedback, and they knew that's how their fan base felt, and then they released the game too soon. So they're fixing it now. Better late than never. But I think they really could have avoided a misstep had they done it properly in the first place. Right where we're at. 74,000 pounds. It seems to be our sweet spot. We haul a lot of cargoes that bring our gross weight to 75,000. Right. Carefully out of here. Here we go. What else is going on? Oh, there was something else. Oh, I did finally start my career in F1 2019. And I went with Williams. There are 3 teams running Mercedes motors this year. Mercedes, naturally. Race Point, formerly Force India. Is it Race Point or Racing Point? It's something, some kind of a point. Sir? Sir? All right. And Williams. And I'm on, whoa, there we go. Get the camera set. I'm on the 1.0.7 patch right now. And they have adjusted the balance of power for the teams to accurately reflect the real world, the real Formula One calendar. And Williams is an absolute dog. They are the worst of the worst, bottom of the ladder in R&D by far. So I went with Williams because it was either I'm not going to take Mercedes. It's not that it's too easy. It's just that's not my way. You know, I want to earn my stripes. I don't want to jump into arguably one of the top, if not the top team in F1, at least as far as R&D in the game is concerned. In real life, I suppose the driver might have a little bit to do with it, but that's a conversation for another day. But I don't like to drive Mercedes. Racing Point, Force India. It's never really done it for me as a team. Williams, you know, legendary team, historical team, tons of legacy there, based in the UK. So I went with Williams. And my first race is in Australia, obviously. And expectations are that I finish 19th or better. So essentially, I just need to beat my teammate, or one person needs to retire from the race. One driver retires, and I've met my team goals. So we'll see how that goes. I think it's going to take at least 2 or 3 seasons to build Williams up to something. And I'm told, I haven't spent enough time in the game yet to confirm this, but I'm told that the development programs are slightly easier in F1 2019 than they were in F1 2018, which means it is slightly easier to amass R&D points, which means it's slightly easier to improve the car and make it competitive. And the way that the goals are set up, you know, the R&D testing and the R&D programs are independent of your race finishes. And then your reputation with your team and your goals and various other things are set up based on the strength of your car. So it is possible to drive the Williams and without winning any races to give everybody exactly what they want. You're giving the R&D department the points that they need to keep improving the car, and you're giving your agent and your team and everybody else the results that they expect from you, other than just, you know, winning the championship, which is unlikely, if not impossible, in the Williams, at least season 1. So super excited about that. There was one other thing. Oh, I'm trying to think. There was something else that had happened that had happened. I mean, in the motorcycle sims that I'm into right now, MXGP, Motocross GP, we're getting close to the end of the season, and it looks like we're going to win our first season on the 250, the MX2 250. Doing okay there. In Supercross, we're in 250 West, and we're doing okay so far. God, that game is frustrating. Man, is it frustrating. When I look at the MXGP courses, what I see are essentially smaller Formula One courses or MotoGP courses, right? The same sort of layout, maybe a little tighter, maybe a little bit more of that, sort of tucked in like you have with a stadium course where everything has to be sort of inside itself. You can't have You know, it can't be like old Spa going out 10 miles into the woods. It's got to be compact enough to fit into an arena or a stadium. So the track will sometimes fold back in on itself more than an F1 or a MotoGP track would. But for the most part, I see... Carefully. For the most part, I see... Oh, bad. Now, we're not going to make the same mistake that we make all the time. First, step one, let us determine where... Okay, the ramp is closed. Moment. We're just going to hop in the map. We're going to pause time, and we're going to hop into the map. Oh, son of a... Now, is it closed both ways? Because if both ramps are closed, there's really no other way to get here without turning around. I mean, I guess we could drive all the way around, but it seems like it would be shorter to drive back through Wenatchee. Oh, game. We have to go straight here. Let us go straight into Spokane, which we need to discover anyway. Let us go straight into Spokane and see if we can just turn around and get on Highway 2 going the other direction from the other direction. I'm going to have a sip of coffee too, because my voice is just about to go away. Okay. We're gonna go straight here and see if it reroutes us onto this ramp. If only the ramp itself is closed, I think we'll be okay. Is the ramp on the other side open? Yeah, it looks like there was just some... Looks like somebody spilled their load right there. Oh, that's nice. That could be a screenshot. That could be a screenshot. Okay, so that was uneventful. We'll just go down to Spokane. We'll discover Spokane. We'll turn around and we'll head back the other way. Right, motocross GP courses. Motocross GP courses to me seem like MotoGP or F1 tracks. They just added a bunch of hills and put dirt in them. And they're smaller, of course. They're scaled down. And that works perfectly for me. They make sense to me, right? Supercross courses are like, oh, man. It's like they're trying to hurt my soul. If you're not familiar with Supercross, they like air. The fans, the crowd, they like that air. They like the big jumps. So there are triples everywhere. But there's typically a triple like coming out of a hairpin. And you gotta... how do we want to do this? I think we need to get off here. He's right there. This is going to be a little not cool. Sorry, sir. Right. And it may or may not... I hope it lets us discover Spokane while we're here, because if not, we'll have to come back and discover it another time. While we're here, do you just want to drive in and get the discovery? Oh! And I did stay to the right there, so we don't clip the trailer. Oh, officer. All right. Okay. Got this. I think this is Spokane right here. So it may give us the discovery.
Then turn left.
No, it's up more. This is already going to be a long episode. We'll discover it another time.
Turn left.
Here we go. Got it. Beautiful. So,
Get ready to turn left.
you want those triples, but because you're coming out of a hairpin, you don't always have enough speed to carry them, and so you case the landing. Or you try to go the other way and get it hauled down enough, because you're going fast. It's a race. It's a race. You try to get it hauled down, so you hit the double, right, and land on the far side. You land on the landing part of the double, and that doesn't work. So you just land flat in the gap between the double and the triple, lose all your speed, and now you're trying to get going again to get up the backside of the landing for the triple, and it's just a scene, man. It's a scene. I have cased so many triples, because with the AI cranked up, really the only way to be competitive is you have to nail those triples. It's Oh, did we hit? Well, we did. I guess we had to. Well, I don't mean we had to like it was required. I mean we had to have hit the trailer because we just took damage. Son of a bait. Oh, man. I hate when I do that. I hate when I do that. Supercross, yeah. So it is, it's madness. And there's also a ton of rhythm sections, which are different in Supercross than they are in Motocross GP. And they will absolutely buck you off the bike if you don't get the timing right and have the speed and get your weight back before you get into them. The ripples will just absolutely wreck you. And that game puts me into a rage faster than I think any other race sim that I know of. It makes me absolutely crazy. But I'm into a season now, so I can't stop. So that's one of those games that I wouldn't say that I hate playing it, but I am really trying to like crack the code for Monster Energy Supercross and figure out how to be competitive without feeling like I'm just struggling and suffering through every lap, which is where I'm at now. So that's fun. That's a good time. You know, it's fun to play a video game that makes you want to cry. It's cool. So we've got that going on. MotoGP is going smooth. I actually just posted a MotoGP video yesterday. First time in a long time I've posted a proper race video. I've done some things like stuff for a set of Corsa Competizione. Hey, check this out. You know, this just dropped. Here's a patch, that sort of thing. Check the game out. But as far as a full-on, like, here's a race, and let's see how it turns out, I haven't posted one of those for a long, long time. So we'll see how that does. We'll see if that's something people are into. But MotoGP is going well. We're in our second full season of the actual MotoGP class. We did one full season with Aprilia. We had a fantastic finish, and we got an offer from Ducati factory team, and we took it. I was thinking of sticking around with Aprilia and continuing to build that bike, but I think I proved my point, you know, that we could make something happen with Aprilia. We did. So moved to Ducati, which is, I guess, it's the same as on the F1 side. It's the same as going with Ferrari or Mercedes or Red Bull. But in F1 2018, we did do a season with Red Bull. So you know where I'm at with that. I don't want to sandbag it, but I also don't want to just suffer. You know, you try to find that sweet spot where you've got a decent ride, but you're not absolutely abusing the game. So that's what's going on there. And I'm trying to think of anything else.
Go straight on.
Okay, don't have to get weighed. Fantastic. Train Sim World, the new Train Sim World comes out in just a few days. That's going to be hopefully cool to see that new route. I haven't seen, neither of them are available, and it's only a few days from now when that's going to be released, but I haven't seen either of them available to add to a wish list. So we'll see. Maybe they're still trying to figure that out, but if you're not familiar with that, Train Sim World is going to patch up to Train Sim World 2020, and I guess it's in the same way that CSX Heavy Haul at some point just sort of became Train Sim World. And I think it was when they started adding DLC and other routes. Moment. Concentrating. And I think they're going to do the same thing with this. At some point, it will just become Train Sim World 2020. Like, it will no longer be possible to buy Train Sim World. In the same way that I don't think it's possible to buy... We're in Train Simulator 19 now. I don't think you can buy Train Simulator 18 anymore. That would be like rolling back a patch. So, essentially, they're just going to rename the game. If you already own it, you already own it. You don't have to buy it, right? It's not like you need to buy the new name. But any content that's added to the re-up, you will have to buy that. And in that case, for us at least, it's going to be that California route. So we'll get that going as soon as we can. What else? Big patch for Mud Runner. I think I may have mentioned this in another video. Maybe not. No, I haven't, because since it dropped, all we've done is motocross and farm, and we don't really talk about other sims in those videos. We only talk about other sims in trucks and trains. But Mud Runner dropped a 1.3 gig patch Concentrating. Where's the road going? What's happening here? Oh, we're crossing some railroad tracks. Fantastic. Fantastic. We'll swing it wide so we don't clip our trailer again. This thing is long, man. It really is. Beautiful. So, MudRunner, yeah, it's essentially the game is 1.3 gig and the patch was 1.3 gig. I saw in the comments people were like, eh? Because it says they fixed one of the GMC trucks and they fixed some sounds and they did some, and immediately people were like, how is that 1.3 gig? 1.3 gig is the entire game, the entire sim, and what it sounds like is when they patch the game, because it's not that big anyway, rather than having your hard drive unzip the game, add the fix, and then zip it up again, and they just replace the whole game and it's quicker. That's what I'm told. Who knows? But MudRunner just had a patch, and I think it's interesting that MudRunner, which is now... Moment. There we go. Let's find a good gear here. There's a good one. I think it's interesting that MudRunner, which is no longer affiliated with Spin Tires. I gotta have some coffee. Hang on. Nope. We need a straight stretch for me to have the coffee, man. If I were to put my... Oh, God. No, I gotta do something about this. I don't know what happens to my voice. Hang on. Oh, fantastic. I don't know what happens to my voice that causes that. But it is annoying as hell. It really, really is. Because I got this voice. You can hear it. You can hear it right now. I got this voice. Right? And then out of nowhere, it'll just go away. That ain't cool, man. That is not cool. Oh, man. So yeah, I think it's funny that Spin Tires had a big kind of significant patch, arguably a very significant patch, because the game has been out for a while and has been sort of stagnant for a while. And then out of the blue, we've got 1.3.3, which really changes some things and modernizes the game and really kind of brings it up to date, right? And then very quickly afterwards, MudRunner, no longer affiliated with Spin Tires, they have a patch as well. And it's been a while since they had a patch. So who knows if those two are still competing against each other. I think it's hilarious that there is now a Russian truck driving genre. It used to be there was only one, right? If you were driving a converted Soviet missile hauler, you were in Spin Tires. But now, right? It's like a genre. Who knows if there's going to be a third one. I also saw, on that same topic, I also saw the other day, there is a truck simulator. Oh, man. I think it may be somebody just trying to get in on the console market, because ATS and ETS are not on console. But it's bad. It's really bad. And apparently they got no licensing for any trucks, because it's no-name trucks, right? Like made-up brands with similar logos. You know how they do it. And it looks terrible. I think it's fascinating, like what people are willing to do not to make a buck. I mean, it looks like it's got some time and effort put into it. But you can see from the look and feel of it, from the screenshots, you can see that it is absolutely a clone of ETS, ATS for console. And I believe, I think the dam is like, there it is. Oh yeah, that is the Grand Coulee Dam. That's a big one. That is an engineering masterpiece. So you can see that there is some time and effort put into it, but you can also see that it is simply somebody trying to get that console market, because Truck Sim is not on console at the moment. What are you going to do, At least they're not making smartphone games. All right, so we're going to turn in here. Oh, it's too bad it's not daylight, and it's too bad we can't get a screenshot here. because it looks like with the dam over there, it looks like this would be just lovely. In fact, let's take a look. Bridge is going straight. Truck is going straight. No, there's really no way to do this. Yeah. Maybe. Nah, not really. With it being that dark and with everything being sort of a flat gray, you wouldn't be able to see what you were seeing anyway. You wouldn't be able to see what you were looking at. I'll figure something out. So, we're going to take a right in here, and we're done. This has been a strange video. I will be the first one to admit it. We're dropping off TVs at a Whole Foods. Yeah, it's been a little odd, but you know what? That happens. Right, and then we're going in here.
Turn right.
With this big-ass trailer.
You have arrived at your destination.
Have I?
Route guidance is now finished.
Have I, though? Sir, where do you want this? I think we're going to skip unloading. Maybe. We'll throw it in there. Maybe. Concentrating. Huh. Okay. Oh, yeah, this has not been... Not super happy with this video. We'll keep it. But I'm not super happy with it. Right. That's better. Concentrating. Yeah, there we go. We got this. I was just wondering if Whole Foods does sell TVs. Like, just curious. I think we're going to be late, too. Because we did get that notice. Yeah, it's going to be a disaster. Right. So, back to neutral. Set the brake. Parking lights on. Engine off. Let's see how we did. Really? Okay, we were on time. And the trailer took damage, but not the cargo. Fantastic. Okay, so that all worked out, and we made 20 grand. Beautiful. All right. We'll do better next time. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out The Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of American Truck Simulator. And we'll see you next time. Take care now.